And hello everybody, you're live. It's Monday night, June 2nd with SherryTalkRadio. And if you have a question for the show, you can send it to SherryTalkRadio@yahoo.com. Looking questions tonight. I know some of you wanted me to get to some last week that I didn't get to. So I'll try to get to those tonight. I pick up where I left off last week. Because like I've said the last couple of weeks, probably the last month, just some days, day and night, I've just been going through research and information. It's just been mind-boggling at times, a mountain of information most of the time, and you just have to weed through everything, chew the grass, spit out the hay. You would be surprised where the Lord will take you for information. He's always said there's a little piece here, there's a little piece there. Everybody has a little piece of the truth. Nobody has it all put together. And so don't be surprised the things you might stumble on and read, and all of a sudden something jumps out at you as truth, because that's the way He works, and that's just the way truth is. It's scattered. It's here. It's there, and it's not any one place has it all. And so, being a truth seeker is definitely a journey, and it's also one of growing in discernment, knowing what grass to chew and what hay to spit out, and it's all just a process. And so it's been interesting, the journeys I've been on over the last 10, 12, 15 years, probably most of my life to begin with, ever since I was a child, just having an extreme love and devotion for the Lord, just knowing He existed, even at 2, 3 years old, and so that's where it began, and of course 40 years later, don't reveal my age too much, things haven't changed a whole lot. Still have that desire to know Him, to get to know Him more and more and more and more and more, And so that's what I encourage everybody to be like, is just to want to get to know Him more and more and more and more, and keep asking Him every day to reveal the truth in all things to you. I see that in the Bible codes now, and it kind of cracks me up. Satan hates it. He cannot stand for me to sit here on the air and encourage the Lord's people week in and week out to ask the Lord, the Most High, to reveal the truth to them in all things. Because He wants you to go to His pastors that He controls, speaks through, wittingly or either unwittingly. They either know or they don't. He uses all of them because He keeps them in the dark. In the churches and man, He wants you to stick with your head in the sand. He doesn't want you going to the source itself, which is the Most High, and finding out what the truth is. He wants you to stay dumbed down and involved with the churches today, because He controls them all. They all have a very limited amount of truth. None of them have it all. And He likes the people that way. He can control them that way. He can't control truth seekers. He can't control people. He refused to be part of the system. And it's these people that become a threat to Him. And I don't know how many times I've heard from people that are waking up slowly, and the Lord's leading them into the internet, and they're stumbling on my websites, and they're reading, and they're learning, and they're starting to pray, and they're starting to develop the relationship with the Most High, and learning how to hear His voice, learning how He speaks through us, through our spirits, through our intuition, how He leads and guides us. And the next thing they know, they've got government sitting in front of their house. They've got drive-bys of weird government vehicles or black helicopters going over their house. The stories are all the same, just different types of, okay, this is this person, that's where they live. And that's basically what they're doing, is they target where these people are and who they are. Because they have a list of every person that they believe is part of the 144,000. And if you're on one of my websites, they're going to probably automatic target these people, because it's the Lord who leads people to my websites. And so they know without a doubt that people being led to my sites are most likely, more than not, one of the 144,000 elect. And so that's why they're targeted. I have nothing to do with it, folks. There's not a thing I can do about it. I've heard from people that will go to my websites and they'll click on my link and be forwarded to another website, or they'll click on one of my archives for the radio show and they'll get Alex Jones's show. I can't do a thing about that. I don't own the servers. All I can do is run websites. The CIA owns the servers that operate my website, so they have ultimate control over everything on the internet. ICANN itself is nothing but a government-run agency. It's the CIA. Okay, that was interesting. Alright. They're going to show me who's boss, too. I don't know if you heard that or not. Anyway, they're not my bosses. I answer to the Most High, who's my boss. I don't fear man, I never will. Because everything about, when you start waking up and you start learning the truth, you learn what a charade everything is, and you learn what a loser Satan is, and what a charade the whole thing is about him. And everything becomes very clear from that point on, that it's definitely a war between Satan's people and the Lord's people on earth, the serpent seed and the seed of Yahweh on earth. And so, it never stops. It's a never-ending journey. I wrote an article a couple years back called The Venus Alien Trap. And sometimes I do have to just sit back and go back and read something I've written years earlier, like I had to this week. Because I wrote this article years ago on the Venus Alien Trap. And it's funny how the Lord will do that a lot. If I'm studying something in particular, He'll lead me back to one of the articles I've written previously. And to reread that. There's a lot of truth in my articles. I mean, it's all truths. It's all revelations of knowledge. It's all just everything written down in written form. What Satan hates the most and what he fears the most is things that are recorded. I don't know why that is. I always see that in the Bible codes where something is either written in an article or something is recorded. And that seems to threaten him the most. He hates it the most is when I record things. I don't know if he's sitting up in space listening, I wouldn't doubt it, or if he catches an archive later, I don't know what he does. But I know he hears everything I record. Because it's something the Lord's been leading me into, and that's, got into it last week. And it's the whole thing with the worship of the sun. The whole thing with the sun, because it's going to come into play in these last days. From what I can gather, and I don't have all the information I would like, trust me. I would love to have a lot more. The sun itself represents the glory of the Most High. And it can be used as a blessing or a curse against the people on earth. If you look at the ancient religions, they all mimicked this. They all had their own gods. Osiris was the sun, and Semiramis was the sun's rays. And you go into the Egyptians, the Chaldeans, the Babylonians, even to today's Masons, and they all worship the sun. They all give it a different name. Different religions, different secret societies throughout the ages attribute all their different names of all their gods to the sun. I believe the first one was Amun-Ra, the Egyptian god, the Egyptian sun god, which was named to mimic the Most High God, who represents on earth through the sun, because the sun itself, I was just reading Enoch. I told you last week I've been reading Enoch again, because I'm trying to be able to piece more of this together. There's two different dimensions of the sun. We see a physical manifestation of the sun. We see it as a burning, bright, hot, gaseous star. It's literally just a lake of fire. It will burn. Humans or anything can't get too close to it in this dimension, in our realm. But in the spiritual realm, the sun is just a brilliant, soft